So are you also still posting manually on your WordPress account? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create WordPress post from Airtable record using AI agent and update the record. So over here I'm running a digital marketing agency and we also regularly post on our WordPress account, but we were doing it manually and this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem I've simply created this automation where what is happening is that as soon as I add the blog topic and the target audience in my Airtable account, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate me the content. And further, using this automation, I'm going to post that content on my WordPress account and update the blog link in my Airtable account once again. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Airtable, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, WordPress, and then Airtable once again. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation or this connection for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this today's video, I'll show you how to automate the creation of WordPress posts directly from Airtable records using an AI agent. This process will also update the Airtable records when the posts are live. So whether you're managing a blog or updating your website, this automation will save you time and help you to keep everything in sync effortlessly. So let's get started with creating seamless content updates. Alright, so to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button right over here which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, which says how to create WordPress post from Airtable record using an AI agent and update record. And then we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Airtable because what I want is that as soon as I'm going to create a new record in my Airtable account, or as soon as I'm just going to add the blog title and target audience in my Airtable account, automatically this workflow should get triggered. Now for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new record. And now after selecting the trigger event, we are simply going to click on this button which says connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Airtable account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Airtable. And now over here you can see it is saying Pabbly Connect is requesting Airtable access. So over here Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And to grant the access, we have to select the base right over here. So as you can see, the name of my base is blog post. So I'm just going to select the same. I'm just going to click on this add a base and search for my base for which I want to create this automation and and select it. And then we have to simply click on this blue button which says grant access. And as soon as we're going to click on this grant access, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our Airtable account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And over here it is automatically selecting my base name and the table. So over here I have only a single table in my base, so it is automatically selecting the same. And now we simply have to click on this button right over here which says save and send test request. But before clicking on this button, over here is an important note. It is saying to capture the trigger response for action new records, you first need to create a field in the table schema with the field name created and set it as created time. Okay, so what we have to do is you first have to create a field in your table. What you have to do is, like over here you can see that I've created this created right over here. You have to create this in your table. And how are you going to do that? For that you simply have to go towards this add field button, give the field name as created. Also over here you have to select it as created time for the field type. You are just going to search for it and select it. Alright, so like this only you have to also create this field. I've already created this field, so I'm simply going to open my workflow and click on this save and send test request. But now before clicking on the save and send test request, I'll also let you know that Airtable is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that these applications will not check for new data instantly. They're going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Airtable, it is saying that the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So as soon as I'm going to click on the save and send test request button right over here, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Airtable account. So that's why before clicking on the save and send test request, I'll first do a test submission. Alright, for that I'm just simply going to open my Airtable account and we're going to add another record right over here. For that I'm just going to click on this plus sign, enter the blog title and then the target audience. And after entering the blog title, I'm simply going to enter the target audience too. And after entering both of these fields, I'm just going to open my Pabbly Connect's workflow once again and click on this save and send test request button right over here. And now over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the latest submission or the last submission made in my Airtable account. You can see the same target audience and the blog title. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step and we have successfully captured the response. And now with every new record added in our Airtable account, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response. But over here you can see that it is going to capture the new data in 10 minutes. And if you want to reduce or increase this time, you can go towards this three dots, set trigger time, and set the trigger time right from here. I'm going to keep it as 10 minutes only. We're going to move forward towards our action step. I want to create WordPress post from Airtable records, but using an AI agent. So I'm just going to generate the WordPress post with the help of AI agent first, and then we're going to create a WordPress post. But first, to generate the WordPress post, I'm just going to select my action application as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it. You can use any another AI agent like Google Gemini. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. So over here what we're going to do is, it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So we have to visit to this OpenAI API keys page, and to go towards this page, over here is the hyperlink. So I'm simply going to click on this hyperlink given right over here. And now over here it is opening my API keys page. And now in order to create a new key, we simply have to go towards this create new secret key button. And now it is asking me for the name of the key. Let's say that I'm just going to keep it as AI agent. I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button given right over here. And now as you can see that this is my API key, so I'm simply going to copy this API key and we are simply going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And now after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And now with this, it has successfully connected my OpenAI account with my Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So over here for the AI model, I'm just going to select it as GPT-4. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. Alright, so I'm just going to enter my prompt right over here. So yes, you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt right over here. I've entered this prompt according to my specific needs. You have to enter the prompt according to your specific needs. Alright, so you can see the prompt is, you are an AI assistant tasked with generating engaging and informative blog post content based on the following details. So here I'm just going to enter the details, which is title and target audience. So I'm simply going to map these details. But I know you must be wondering that what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Airtable as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so over here I'm just going to simply map the titles. I'm just going to look for title in the previous response and map it. And same we're going to do with the target audience too. I'm simply going to map the target audience, and after entering all of these details, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this blue button right over here which says save and send test request, my AI agent is going to generate me the post based on the prompt which I have entered. Alright, so now we have to just wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is going to generate me the blog post content. And yes, over here you can see that the AI agent has successfully generated the blog post content. Over here you can see the message content, and over here you can see the content which my AI agent has generated. You can see that it is specifically according to my prompt. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this action step 2, and our AI agent has successfully generated the blog post content. Now using this same content, I'm just going to create a WordPress post. For that, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for the action application, I'm just going to select it as WordPress. So I'm simply going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as create a post and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your WordPress account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me to enter the WordPress username or email and also the WordPress password. Alright, so I'm just going to enter both of my details right over here which are my credentials. And yes, you can see that I've successfully entered both of these. You can see that over here is the note which says to use this integration, ensure that WordPress REST API authentication plugin is installed and activated on your WordPress site with the basic authentication configured. Please set this up before proceeding. So if you want to learn the complete setup of this, you can check out our YouTube channel for that. Alright, and set this up too. Now we have to move on forward towards the base URL. So to enter this base URL, once again we're going to follow the help text, and it is saying please provide your completely publicly accessible WordPress URL including this and exclude this. Alright, so I'm just going to open my WordPress account, and over here you can see that this is the URL. So I'm simply going to copy this URL and paste it right over here. So it is clearly mentioned that we have to include this, but it is saying that we have to exclude this. So let's say that this is the URL example. So we only have to enter this, which is the base URL. Exclude anything after this. Alright, so I'm just going to follow the same. I'm just going to delete it right from here. And over here we only have to enter this much. And now we're going to move forward and click on this save button right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on the save button right over here, with this we have successfully connected our WordPress account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the post type. So over here I'm just going to select the post type as post only. We are going to move forward. Over here it is asking me for the post title. So I'm simply going to map the title. I'm just going to open my Airtable response and map the title. We are going to move forward. It is asking me for the post content. So over here we are going to map the content which are OpenAI generated. I'm just going to simply map it right over here. We're going to move forward. It is asking me for many other details. So we're only going to fill in the details which are required or which I want to. Like the status, I'm just going to keep the status as published. If you wish, you can definitely keep it as draft only for your team to review it once. I'm just going to keep it as published only. We're going to move forward. It is asking me for many other details. We're just going to ignore these details. It is saying featured media ID. If you wish, you can definitely select a media right from here, but I don't wish to do so. So I'm simply going to switch on this mapping button right from here and delete this, because I'm just going to keep this field as blank, because once again this is not the required field. I'm only going to fill in the fields which are required. And yes, now we're going to move forward. All of these are not the required fields, so I'm just going to leave it as blank and click on the save and send test request button. And as soon as we're going to click on the save and send test request button, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. That with this we have successfully created a new post on our WordPress account, and over here is the post link. So I'm simply going to copy this post link right from here and open it in a new tab and check for the new post created. So over here you can see with the help of the same details which our AI agent generated, a new post has been created in my WordPress account. So yes, now after creating this post, I'm just going to add this post link right over here in my Airtable account. And to add that link, we are simply going to add another action step right over here. And then for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Airtable. So I'm just going to search for it, and then we're simply going to select it. For the action event, we have to select it as update record and click on this connect. Recently, I connected my Airtable Airtable account. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And as soon as we're going to click on this save, it is saying connected. I'm just going to select the base name and the table name. Also, we're going to select the record ID, which we have to map. And over here, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to switch on this mapping button and map this record ID. I'm just going to open the response of this Airtable, and over here you can see the record ID. So it is really important to map this record ID because we can't select the record ID right over here. It will turn dynamic. We have to map this record ID. All right, now we're going to move forward. It is asking me for the blog title and the target audience. So already we have details in this. I only want to update this blog post link. All right, so I'm directly going to move forward and map the blog post link from the WordPress response right over here. As you can see that this is the link, so I'm simply going to map it and click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request, we have received a positive response that with this we have successfully updated this record. So yes, now I'm just going to open my Airtable account and check for the record updated. So yes, over here you can see the record has been updated. The blog post link has been added right over here. So now I'm just going to simply open this link and you can check that it is the same post. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now whenever I'm just going to add the blog title and the target audience right over here in my Airtable account, within 10 minutes Pabbly is going to trigger this workflow. My AI agent is going to generate the blog post, and further it is going to create a post in my WordPress account, and then further we are going to update the blog post link in my Airtable account, that too without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, I hope this video was helpful for you and you're also going to create this amazing automation for your business. If you have any questions or doubts, you can directly comment on this video, and for your reference I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box. See you in the next video with many more automation tips. Thank you for watching, everyone. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.